it's Ian from RTO. Welcome to Friday, and it's live album ranking. That's just adjust the mic. There we go. And today we have got a band, an American glam metal rock type band, I've had a lot of stick, and it's Poison. Now, I did see Poison at Monsters of Rock in, I don't know what year it was now. I think it was 1990, and they were terrific. They just played good old-fashioned rock and roll, and the sound was good. And I think some of their counterparts at the time. I think this band have stayed quite, even in their autumn years, they're still putting out reasonably good stuff. I mean, their singer Bret Michaels, he had a health scare and he sort of reevaluated life, and he's doing all right. I mean, the classic lineup of Poison is Bret Michaels on vocals, Ricky Rocket on the drums, Bobby Dahl on bass, and CC DeVille on the guitars. They've sold a lot of records, 50 million records and DVDs worldwide. Now, they've released 5, but I call it 4 live albums. So we're going to have a look at them today. So coming in at number 5, it's one of those Sony BMG Let's Make a Quick Buck albums, and it's called the Great Big Hits Live Bootleg. We'll be talking about it in a minute properly, but what's on here, they do an intro. Look what the cat dragged in. I want action, something to believe in. Love on the rocks. I have a little bit of a solo from CC. Fallen Angel. Let it play. A little bit of a drum solo from Ricky Rocket. Every rose has its thorn. Unskinny Bop. Nothing but a good time and talk dirty to me. Pointless album. I don't like it when people like Sony BMG think they can make a quick buck on just taking another album and just repackaging it. I don't see the point in it, and I'm going to give that an RTO ranking of 1 out of 10 just for turning up. Now, coming in at number 4 is the album that Sony BMG nicked from. It's called Power to the People, and it was released in 2013, and it was the first album of the return of the original lineup since 1991. So what you do, this is an album that's part studio, part live, and consisting of 5 newly recorded tracks for this album. So playing on here are Bret Michaels lead vocals and rhythm guitar, CC DeVille lead guitar, backing vocals, and lead vocals on I Hate Every Bone in Your Body But Mine. Bobby Dahl on the bass, Ricky Rocket. So the first thing, you get these studio tricks, these new studio tracks. First one is the title track called Power to the People. And, you can tell that they hadn't recorded anything for a long time, because this is a more mature sound from their early days. It's got some great guitar work on it. I do like that track. Then we got Can't Bring Me Down. Very Bon Jovi of the sound of the time. They're solid. The last song, sort of a ballad, it's alright. We've got Strange, sounds too much like Bon Jovi, but there we go. And then the vocal, the track that CC sings on I Hate Every Bone in Your Body But Mine. It's actually my favourite track off the studio thing. It's a great vocal from CC. It's a good way to come back. So let's take a look at the live stuff. It's very similar to that bootleg. You get from the get 2 tracks off Look What the Track Cat Dragged In, that debut album. You get title track and I Want Action. They're much better live than in the studio, these are. Something to Believe In from Flesh and Blood, great track that is. Love on the Rocks. Then you get the solo from CC, Fallen Angel, Let It Play. Every Rose Has a Thorn was a big hit for them all over the world, from Open Say R. Unskinny Bop, I love that from Flesh and Blood. Nothing But a Good Time from Open Say Then, Talk Dirty to Me. And these tracks were all recorded on their Greatest Hits reunion tour between 1999 and the year 2000. I think this is a nice little package. It's got some nice new tracks on it, some of their classics, so I shall give it an RTO ranking of 6 out of 10. Okay, coming in at number 3 is their first live album, and it's called Swallow This Live, and it was released in 1991, and it was recorded on the tour in the places in Florida. It's Miami, Orlando and Tampa, and then the Irvine Meadows Amphitheatre, Irvine in California. So it's Brett, CC, Bobby and Ricky. Once again, it opens up with, it's a great opener to their concerts. Look What the Cat Dragged In. Really good. Then from the openers take our album, we got Look But You Can't Touch. Again, these tracks are so much better live. There's more punch to them. Let It Play from Flesh and Blood, really good. Good Love from Open and Say Ah. Then 2 tracks from Flesh and Blood, Life Goes On and Ride the Wind, which is really better live again. Then we get I Want Action, and then we get an 8-minute drum solo from Ricky Rocket. I don't know why we have an 8-minute one. Something to Believe In from Flesh and Blood. Polaroid Blues, which is one of my favourite tracks off that album. Then a bit of Unskinny Bop. Then we get Love on the Rocks from Open and Say Ah. 11-minute solo from CC DeVille. Don't know why we get that either. Every Rose Has Its Thorn. A really nice ballad from Open and Say Ah. We stay with that album for a bit of Fallen Angel. And their cover of Loggin and Messina's Your Mama Won't Dance, which is terrific. It's a good track anyway, and they do a great version of it. Nothing But a Good Time from Open Say Ah as well. Look What the Cat Dragged In. We go for a bit of Talk Dirty to Me. And then there's a few studio tracks on here as well. So we've got So Tell Me Why. It's okay. It's got a nice thing to it. Souls to the Fire. Just a typical Poison track, and Only Time Will Tell. Proper glam metal ballad there. No More Looking Back on Poison Jazz. Yeah, it's average. I saw them on this sort of tour. This is when they played Donington, and as I said, do I need a 9-minute drum solo from Ricky Rocket in 11 minutes? No, I don't need a guitar solo of 11 minutes. But the studio tracks were a bit lame on this one, so I shall give this an RTO ranking of 7 out of 10. Okay, coming in at number 2 from 2008. When it was released, it's Live, Raw and Uncut, and it was recorded at the Versailles Marlis Amphitheatre in Maryland Heights, St. Louis in Missouri on the 2nd of August 2007 on their Poisoned tour. So it's Brett, CC, Bobby and Ricky, and Will Doherty on keyboards and piano joins the band. Opens up with the main opener, Look What the Cat Dragged In. Then from the same album, I Want Action. Great track that is, especially live. Look What Another. Then we have Ride the Wind from Flesh and Blood. I Won't Forget You. Now on the album, it's a little bit a bit weird, but the live version has got more punch. Then we have a guitar solo from CC, and he's cut it down to 6 minutes. Thank God. Then they do a live version of that track from Power of the People, I Hate Every Bone But Mine. Great live. It's as good as the studio version. Something to Believe In from Flesh and Blood. Pretty cool. The drum solo has now been cut to 5 minutes. Then we go into the class, some of the big hits. Unskinny Bop from Flesh and Blood. Every Rose Has Its Thorn from Open and Say Ah. Continuing on that album with Fallen Angel. Talk Dirty to Me from the debut. And Nothing But a Good Time. A really good live album. I think this band just got better with age. The sound was better. You know, it's a glam rock metal sound. Very simple. Basic rock and roll. And I don't mind that. I get a lot of stick for liking Poison, and I think Bret Michaels singing is as good as he was in the 90s, so I'm going to give that an RTO ranking of 7.5. But the number 1 for me is their 4th and it's 7 days live. It was recorded in 1993 at the Hammersmith Odeon, and it was on the Native Tongue tour, and this is the album that hasn't got CC DeVille on it, which is surprising because it's Bret Michaels, Richie Kosan on the guitar and mandolin, Ricky Rocket, Bobby Dahl and Jess Brabham. The first track is from the Native Tongue album. The first 2 tracks are The Scream, which is pretty cool. It's a great track. The guitar work from Richie is superb on this. And then you get Strike Up the Band, Native Tongue as well. Much better live than on the studio album. Really good. Then we go to Flesh and Blood for Ride the Wind. It's a pretty decent track. Good Love from Open Sayar. And then a killer version of Your Mama Won't Dance. Back to the Native Tongue album for Body Talk. Something to Believe In. Excellent version of that. Stand from Native Tongue. Fallen Angel from Open Up and Say Oh. Then we get the drum solo, which goes... It doesn't mean you've missed out one, and that's the Cat Dragged In, been demoted. Drum solo 2 minutes, which goes straight into You Suffer Some Fire and Ice, which is one of the best tracks of Native Tongue. 7 Days Over You from Native Tongue's pretty cool as well. Unskimmy Bop, love that track. Talk Dirty to Me, Every Rose Has Its Thorn and Nothing But a Good Time. Now, considering there's no CC DeVille on this, it's a really good album. I think the Hammersmith Odeon is a terrific place to record a live album. I think it's very compact sound, and the crowd seem to be really up for it. And as I said, I think all the tracks off the Native Tongue album sound so much better live. So I'm going to give this one an RTO ranking of 7.6. So there we go. A band that doesn't get much loving on YouTube. And I do rate them. I prefer these to Motley Crue, actually. That's going to upset a lot of people, but hey ho, we all like things different. So yeah, go and check them out. They're not just, you know, especially their later albums, they do sound quite cool. Okay, that's all for this one. Coming up next is a brand new album, and finally they released it last week, and that's the new album from Manic Street Preachers, and that is called Critical Thinking. Bye for now.